Vallejo is a workforce development organization. If you asked me when we launched the company in 2018 what we were, I would have said we're a nonprofit staffing agency. Over the last 6 years of operations, we've evolved and we've made some pivots, and now we are a workforce development organization that specializes in using employment as a tool to combat homelessness. The only eligibility for any service at Vallejo, and specifically for housing programs or shelter programs, is individuals have to state that they want to work full-time now or in the next 12 months.
The thing I love about Vallejo is not only the individuals that we serve, but the individuals that work at Vallejo, the passion that every single person that comes to our doors internally working with us has for the individual we serve. We come with a lot of life experience. I had 16 years of addiction that I battled through in my life. And through that transition of getting into recovery and transforming my life into something positive has given me a great skill set to pass on to the projects that we're doing here now at Vallejo.
Homelessness and affordability has been a really important challenge in our region. And as architects, I know that we have a small part. One of the things that I've really looked into shelters and houselessness is there's such a lack of dignity. If you don't believe in yourself or believe you have a future, why do anything?
Working in Tacoma and understanding the challenges that Tacoma is going through, being present, the homeless issue is not a they issue, it's a we issue.
Right now, today, so many folks qualify for permanent supportive housing because their barriers are perceived to be so overwhelming that the likelihood of them transitioning into permanent employment, permanent housing is very small. We look at Vallejo as not just a workforce development organization, not just a staffing agency, but really we have a continuum of services, all employment focused, and starting with stabilization. In 2023, we were fortunate to partner with Pierce County, and we're able to leverage a $2 million grant to purchase a site on MLK. The site will become a 50 single room occupancy site. But we need $1.6 million to complete the project.
The design overall, it's 2 floors that are almost identical. Bedrooms are on the perimeter of the building. And what we're using the core of the building for is the services and the community spaces. Kitchen with countertops and bars, a dining area and a big living area where people can watch TV and build friendships and trust and be a community.
The structure of the building, it does have a soul and it speaks. It's not a busy building, it's not a gaudy building, it's not an outdated building, but it's something that has a feel for the individuals that would be residing there. It's not cold and harsh and institutional feeling.
It's not going to feel clinical. We want depth to it. We want security to it. We want anybody that walks in here to feel a comfort, like a home.
Trauma-informed design is really based on the principles of how do you create a place that feels safe and people don't have to be looking over their shoulders, because a lot of people who are living here have had some kind of violence or trauma. This is about not having dead ends where somebody could go down a hallway and be concerned that somebody's going to come up and trap them. So it's a really important piece, is that there's always a place where you can retreat from.
We're going to have 24-hour staff. We're going to have eyes on 24 hours a day. And not just include shelter aides that'll be here, but we'll have case management here. We'll have a clinical room that we're building in. For an individual that is experiencing houselessness and experiencing some form of addiction that they're going through, to have a place like Calyx, it's a game changer.
The literal definition of calyx is the sepals of a flower, typically forming a whorl that encloses the petals and forms a protective layer around a flower and bud. And that's really how I think of Calyx communities, is we want to be that protective community that forms around the folks that we serve and get to be part of watching them as they go through a journey of blossoming.
This isn't a handout, it's support. And a lot of these programs, it's money going one direction. If we don't pull people out of the system, then every person who's coming into the system new is making the pool bigger and bigger and bigger. And the Calyx project and what Vallejo Vacation's doing is right now a spoon, but it's spooning people out of the system and making the problem smaller.
Transformation comes from community. And we're building a community here at the Calyx Centers that I truly believe will impact not just the individual that's going through these tough times, but it's going to be a trickle down into the community. When an individual sees success and gets stabilization in their life, everybody benefits from it.
The moment that we decided to do shelter as part of our service delivery continuum is the moment where I had to translate my brain from being a social enterprise, business-focused, sales-focused leader of the organization to actively thinking about how can we leverage partnerships in the community to provide some of that cost. Calyx Communities, with the model as we've designed it, can serve 150 folks a year. Since Vallejo's inception in 2018, we've already served over 6,000 individuals in just 6 years. Based on how many folks the site can serve at one time, the initial cost really boils down to $32,000 per person. This one-time investment will in turn serve thousands of individuals in years to come.
In the addiction recovery world, I like to say that the opposite of addiction isn't recovery. The opposite of addiction is community. And to have community partners get engaged with Vallejo and this project is crucial to its success.
This is my community and I love it. Who knows what the people that are out there not being served, not being helped, what are they capable of and what are we losing as a society by allowing them to wash through the cracks? I think it's embarrassing, it's terrible. So why not take what we're really good at and provide it to the people who need it the most? I know that I can't fix homelessness on my own, but I can make a place for 50 people to have a good life and recover so that they can reintegrate into society and make room for 50 more people to do the same thing.
We believe a continuum of care specifically designed for the unique subset of the house's population, those who can work towards full-time employment, must include transitional employment programming, paid skill development, comprehensive support to guide individuals through complex systems to reduce barriers to employment, safe shelter that is enriched by a community of like-minded, goal-oriented individuals striving to move forward in their lives, and of course, accessible, attainable housing that is community-based and below the market rate cost for a one-room apartment. I think what we at Vallejo have acknowledged and have figured out is the secret sauce of dignity, love, and community. And I think that over the last several years of operating shelter has given us really keen insight into what will work. And so we're really excited to see what the future holds for us.